Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Tom Yanni.
Well, I have two rules in life. Number one, I refuse to be the bearer of bad news, and number two, I refuse to lie. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to break one of those two rules today. Let's have a look at the 5-day weather forecast. Today is sunny. It's going to be very, very sunny, a high of 30. I'm sorry, I can't lie. It's going to be overcast, possibility of rain, a high of 13. It will get better Thursday and Friday. Looking at sun both days, a high of 12 on Thursday and a high of 8 on Friday. And then here comes the rain. Saturday, Sunday, your weekend looking like it's going to be pretty rainy. High of 9 on Saturday and a high of 8 on Sunday. My suggestion is play a board game. That's all for the weather. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Tom. Turning now to international news. Former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak has been detained today in the hospital where he is being treated for a heart condition. Egypt's Prosecutor General announced the detention earlier today on Facebook and has stated that he will be investigating allegations of corruption, abuse of authority, and the killings of protesters during the uprising that led to Mubarak's resignation as president. Egyptian police say that his sons have also been accused of corruption and violence during Mubarak's rule.
Tensions remain high in Ivory Coast after the arrest of ousted President Laurent Gbagbo on Monday. His supporters continue to clash violently with those of Alassane Ouattara's supporters, striking largely from pro-Gbagbo suburbs of Abidjan. The British Red Cross warns that the ongoing conflict is only worsening the humanitarian crises in Ivory Coast, with an estimated 1 million people driven from their homes and over 100,000 seeking refuge in neighboring Liberia.
In Japan, a new school year will begin in a week. Despite the tsunami and earthquake destruction, many school buildings still have significant damage. At Okawa Elementary School, 74 of the 108 students perished in the March 11th tsunami. The 34 remaining students will return to school on April 21st. Although some grieving parents say they aren't ready for school, officials believe re-establishing routines is crucial in order to recover from the crisis.
The Transportation Security Administration is reviewing its screening policies after a 6-year-old girl was given a pat-down at a New Orleans airport. The family from Kentucky says they were on their way home from vacation when their daughter was selected for the search. The girl's mother says that searches are inappropriate for children because they're told not to let adults touch them in private areas.
And now with your sports news, here's Bridget Trung.
The Jays lost their 4th game in a row last night to the Seattle Mariners. Rookie pitcher Michael Pineda took a shutout into the 8th inning for his first Major League victory as the Mariners beat Toronto 3-2. Ryan Langerhans hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd off Toronto starter Ricky Romero, who retired 14 straight, pitching into the 8th. The Jays look to avoid being swept today. First pitch is at 3:40 p.m. Taking a look at the NBA, the Raptors host the Miami Heat tonight at the Air Canada Center for their final game of the season. Reports say the Miami Heat may rest its big three, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, as their playoff seed is already assured. Every NBA team is in action tonight as the regular season wraps up. In soccer, Toronto FC is preparing for their 5th match of the season at 8 p.m. tonight. The team will host the Los Angeles Galaxy and welcome fan favorite David Beckham on home soil. Alex Stevanovic and Alan Gordon got time off while the team trained yesterday, but are expected to join Javier Martina in tonight's match. And the NHL playoffs begin tonight. The Phoenix Coyotes will play the Detroit Red Wings. Tampa Bay Lightning will face off against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The New York Rangers will take on the Washington Capitals. The Chicago Blackhawks will battle the Vancouver Canucks. And finally, the Nashville Predators will play Anaheim. In other hockey news, the NHL draft lottery picks were announced last night. New Jersey won the lottery, moving up the maximum 4 spots to select 4th. Calling it her first day back, Serena Williams took to the court yesterday for the first time since July. Since her win at Wimbledon, Williams has been out of commission due to a series of health problems. In July, she badly cut her foot on broken glass. The health news got worse when she was diagnosed in February with blood clots in her lungs and in March with a hematoma on her stomach. Her agent says she's taking things day by day. TSN Radio has launched in Toronto. The show went live in the GTA on AM 1050, on TSN Mobile, and nationally on tsn.ca. TSN has tried to launch a radio station before, but failed. Humber's radio broadcast coordinator Paul Cross says there's things they'll have to do differently this time around if they want to make it work.
What's critical to me, I think, if you're going to try to make it work, is it's got to have original, compelling, interesting, and professionally produced content. And that's what they lacked last time when that company tried to do sports radio. And I was there.
That's it for sports. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Bridget. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Sean Bernstein.